Testing. 1 2 1 2 testing. 1 2. Hola. Buenas. Okay, I'm getting a reading. I don't know why my mic's out. Hmm. I didn't mute it. It's unmuted. Yeah. Okay. I think the audio should be back. I just did a whole bunch of rambling and didn't even know I was muted. Okay, let's do a quick recap. So, what I was saying, I think y'all should be able to hear me. What I was saying was, I took a trade yesterday on pack. It was the only thing that I saw, and I played the ATR high break and hold. This ATR high break and hold came down to the $6, which was a combination play, right? So it wasn't just buying a dip. It was buying a dip that came into a whole dollar level that also had a pattern with it. This descending pattern, these three, I guess they either call it, I think it's three blackbirds or something about this pattern. Um, and then also in combination that it already had broke the ATR with some gusto. So I took that trade. My first entry was 605 with 300 shares, and Donnell said, "Hey, this thing is super high float." And I was like, "Really?" And so I went and checked, and it was like 72 million in the float, right? And so that is much higher than what we usually trade. And so two things that I needed to think about: one, this thing could be choppy, so I do not need to get my stop too tight. Two was I probably needed to size up a bit to capitalize on the movement that I was looking for. So at this moment, when I saw these descending candles, I set a target up here of 650. The other thing that I was looking at was that over here on the scans, I saw that the ATR was 49 cents. So the average true range was almost 50 cents. And I was like, okay, if I can get from 6 to 650, that would be amazing. So that's why I set my target. That's why you see these white lines up here, right around this level. And I had 500 share order out there to sell at 650. And then I was going to hold 650 if it wanted to continue to grind higher. Came down, got my entries, added up to 1,000 around here, and it got moving. So moved from 6 up to the 618, and that was a very, I mean, when you think about it, 18 cents, I'm used to seeing a very explosive, so I had to be very patient on this. Then it scared me here with this nice little indecision candle, but it did stay green. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna hold it. And I actually had to make the decision of how to set stops on this thing. I never like to trade without hard stops. So my first stop that I was working up to, I actually put it in was 575 down here, right at this mid-level ATR right here, 575. And I said, okay, if it drops down, I'll just risk, 25 cents on this 1,000 shares. Cool. But it jumps up, it holds this 590, and so I began to move my stop. And the next place I moved to was 599. Now I never usually put my stop right on a whole dollar level like $6. I usually put it right below. So if the $6 is going to act as protection, cool, you do that. But it did do that, acted as protection, and it started getting up. And what I did, since I knew that this could be a grinder and it was showing me indications that it was going to be grinding for the day, I was moving every 5 cents. So every 10 cents that the stock was getting, I was moving up 5 cents. So when it ripped from here from 6 up to 610, I went ahead and started moving my stop right to the 599. Then it moved up here to the 620s. I said, okay, cool. So I moved to the 610. It moved up here to the 634. And so I moved on up right under the 620. And then it started to fail a little bit. And I was like, ooh, that's some weakness there. And I saw it try to come down, but it held. So I moved on up to the 615 to give it a little bit of room. And at this point, I mean, I'm going to lock in 10 cents on 1,000 shares no matter what. And then it went back up here and failed again. And I moved my stop right under this candle to right under the 630. So it was right there, and I was waiting and looking for it not to fail and just go ahead and break that. It did not. It came down and stopped me out at 630, but still, it's a 30 cent win. Well, I got in at 604, and I had a little bit of slippage with that 1,000 shares on this little candle here, which stopped me out at 628, which is what I had pulled up over here. And this was the actual trade that I took. Average entry 604, average exit 628. Now, like I said, some of these, I got a 23 cent return on this. In comparison to my other ones, this one was definitely a smaller return, but I was okay with it. I was like, look, I don't want to be greedy. I don't want to be zealous. I want to take the trades that come up that meet my criteria and evaluate them properly. Like if I was thinking, oh, PAC's gonna go and break $8, that would have been the wrong thing. Especially after Donnell called out, hey, this thing is higher float. I was like, oh, this thing may not rip like that. So I immediately just compressed my idea and was like, all right, let's look for a little bit less. But overall, the trade was $233. And yeah, so but the trade cost me $6,000. When you look at some of these other ones that I won on that were more volatile, they cost me way less. 2,000 bucks for 400. This one was a little bit choppy as well, a little bit higher price. 5,000 for 300, 5,000. But some of the more volatile ones, you just don't have to spend as much money. And I was what I had did on that calculation was I just divided the 233 by the cost, and that was a 3% return on my investment. So 3% return in one day isn't bad. So I was like, I'll take it. Let me read some of these chats since I didn't even realize that I was muted for like 15 minutes. But we do have oh, GXAI did move on up to 10. Let's go ahead and dive into these because GXAI is looking like it's gonna be the one on the day. I saw Hollow pop up as well, so it'll be one of these three. Let's go ahead and make our list and get it a little bit smaller. So let me get rid of Pack because I am done with that. It'll be Hollow, MINM, or GXAI. All of these are over 5. We'll see what the opens do for these. Let's go check on some of this news catalyst though. So GXAI we'll start with since it's the biggest mover. We have about 8 minutes to the bell. GXAI. Okay, so first releases on GXAI. First thing I see is 15 minutes ago, Gaxos acquires rights to AI-enabled technology from top biohacking app. And it announced a 1-for-12 reverse stock split effective pre-market opening March 8th. So that's already happened. So this one, we've been seeing these reverse stock splits kind of go crazy. They're kind of hard to trade, but if you have a strategy that is quick and not so much holding, because my trade yesterday, I held that thing for like an hour and something. So you need to be quick if you're gonna trade these reverse stock splits. And I am not the best quick trader. So Gaxos acquired. Let's go ahead and click into this and see what it's got going. So Gaxos AI Inc. Biohacking app UT Self or Ulta Self integration technology into Gaxos Health proposed product offering will enable enhanced customization and user experience aligning with modern day customers' demands. Okay, so are they talking about any money though? I know they're integrating, but what else is it gonna do? Okay, so this one may be one of those technical stocks. It's got a little bit of catalyst today, and it may be one of those technical movers that does give a move, but you can't kind of judge it on its news. You kind of got to watch it and see what happens. It looks like it's a recent IPO too. Looking over here on the larger time frames, let's see. It's only been trading for 3 months, so it did have a rip up here to 19. This is the wrong tool. It did have a rip up here to 1920 at one point, and right now it's currently trading at $10. So right around here somewhere. Okay, so 1002 is almost on it. So it's trading here. It's got a little bit of range. The question is, can it stay above 641? These body candles that it previously made down here. So that would be the question. But to drop to 6, that would be a long drop, but it is a low float, super low float actually. What it looks like, I'll go ahead and cross reference this, but it looks like it's a super low float. GXAI. Yeah, floats is looking like 1 million in the float there. This one may be one of those crazy halters actually, this low float. All right, float under 1 million. GXAI. No shelf registrations there. Short squeeze, no information. Okay, so it's IPO, so it's not going to be any short squeeze information there. Let's go back over here to this GXAI. Yep, everything's saying it's either 1 million or under in the float, and it's a lot of insiders on this one. 22.98%. Let's jump over to FinViz and see what those insiders are looking like. It doesn't even report them. So could be a very volatile stock. So be quick. Be quick. Or I mean, if you have a strategy or you have the money where you're like, okay, you manage the risk. If you're gonna hold it, just manage your risk. You don't have to be quick. But for the most part, most traders that come and trade these, they're getting in and out. Let's see. MINM is the next one. We have about 4 minutes to the bell. MINM up 32%, and Hollow has got over 20% now for some reason. All right, so looking at NINM, it says it announces a merger agreement. That's one of those news catalysts that's kind of on the fence. The last news was from last year, so I'll be more interested in GXAI this morning than MINM, just based on this merger agreement. I really don't like that news. Let's go look at Hollow. Did it pop some news or something this morning? HOLO. Last news was on February 7th. So that was last month. It planned to join the Communications Industry Association. So not a whole lot of news. So yeah, GXAI is looking like it's going to be the go-to for this morning. We'll have to see what happens. We have a couple of minutes before the open. Let's just review the charts here. So this is Hollow's chart, not the most lively. MINM has been stair-stepping down on the charts on the 15-minute. And then GXAI still holding up. Has the value level between 1118 and 886. And these are the levels that I put out here, these white lines on the monthly chart. So this 641 is what we wanted to stay above. It's currently trading around $10. And then the high point on this is 1920, which isn't even on the map here. It's way higher. So we'll see how it acts and how it moves this value level. We have about less than 2 minutes to the bell. And good morning to everybody that has tuned in. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We want to spot the hot stock. We want to be looking in the right place definitely every morning, because not looking in the right place has cost me so much. Actually, it hasn't cost me a lot of money because I made a lot of money back that I lost on other trades and things. So, I almost break even really on this idea. But yeah, GXAI definitely the most interesting one on the day, up 91%, up over $5 with the ATR of $1.53. So we'll see if a new ATR is calculated today. or if it's able to open that APR up to maybe like $2 or something like that. But the bottom of the value level right now is 872. The control level is at the 970. So we'll see at the first minute how it moves this control level and does it want to get out of this value level to either way, up or down. Then it's got a pre-market low down here of 542, pre-market high up here of 1149. 10 seconds left until this open. And it's staying above that 10 for now. Let's see what a 10 test looks like. Okay, ATR just calculated in. So the ATR is up here at 1128. It is right now at the mid ATR. Has a mid the low ATR is 990. You can see the low and the high. I didn't put the mid on here because I didn't want to just, the mids are, it's kind of like thinking points, It's at a mid right now, just thinking in between these mids, but the actual low and high are on the chart. 1128, 990 for this. So just thinking in between these right now. Okay, thinking about going to the top, touch the ATR high there. Somebody wants it higher. We'll see if it breaks that ATR high of the 1131. Almost got there. Somebody's calling me. Too bad I'm not gonna answer. All right. Anyway, back over to the tested the high. Now coming and testing the ATR low. And this is why the ATRs are so important. Look how it just stops at those ATRs. I mean, it stops. Like, they are very valid points that you have to consider, right? Especially when buying dips, you can buy those dips off of those ATRs because they matter. But yeah, we'll see how this thing plays out. Does it actually want to break down this ATR low? Now remember, one of the plays that I like is the ATR breakdown and recovery. So break this 990 down and then recover the ATR. But if it doesn't, then you're just playing bearish moves down towards the bottom. And at this point, it's showing a lot of indecision. Still has a lot of time on this 15-minute candle. I know it's shaking a lot of people out with this range, moving from 11 all the way down to 9. I know for a fact it's shaking some people down or shaking some people out. Hollow and MINM trash. They're not even in the competition right now. GXAI back up to that ATR high. Now this is the level. This is the play that I like. The ATR high break and hold, right? So to break this high and hold above the ATR. So it's breaking, almost broke. Didn't, but it's got to close the candle above that level, not just go up there and tap it. We need confirmation. But a lot of volume still around this open level. It's tested the full range of the ATR, and at this point, most traders are, it's a gamble right now because it's tested all of the ATR. You don't know which way it's going to go, basically. So we'll see how this candle closes. Continues to pop, and drop. Very, very violent movements here for anybody buying highs or anybody buying anywhere. Three million shares traded on this candle as well. Also, when it comes to using patterns, sometimes at the open, those first minutes, sometimes patterns just don't matter. Especially on these volatile ones like this. This one could be forming all kinds of patterns on the 1 minute and maybe the 2 or 3. But sometimes at the beginning of the open, the patterns just don't matter. The patterns matter, after a couple of candles have been put in and more experienced people see the patterns. They're like, okay, this is what's going on. And they start trading. But on this one, nobody knows anything. It's just a shootout. And it keeps struggling to get over that ATR high. So yeah, I just wait for confirmation. I want to see you get out of there. Be confident. Get up out of there. So on the daily chart though, if we look over here on the larger time frame, we can see that the average true range I was just showing you was based on the 15 minute. The average true range right here on the daily chart is at 1248 up here. So let me grab, okay, I got a price level. 1248 is the ATR high, 12 or 873 is the ATR low on the day. Okay, based on the daily chart. So remember, this takes the last 14 candles and calculates the ATR. And it is getting up there towards that high up there. We look on the 4 hour is at 1172, but the daily chart is really the one that's super powerful if it gets over this high of 1246. So we'll see what happens. Now we'll jump back over to this one, but it's got to hold the 15 ATR before it can hold, the daily. So it's getting above this 15, and it's got room up to this that 1240 whatnot that I added in there. So it's got to hold this level coming into the close of this candle. How many minutes do we have? Oh, we got a lot of minutes. It's only been 6 minutes. So it's definitely got a little work to do up here. The value level that it's hitting is at the 1205 that it's aimed at right now. Just hit it a little bit. It needs to hold over 1205 and hold this ATR. Nice choppy stock. And so this is the price level that I just put in there. This is the actual ATR high on the daily chart that is halting right into. So again, ATRs, we'll see how it goes there. Let me rename, or can I rename this? Name, we'll call it, let's see if it'll rename it. ATR high based on the daily. ATR high, daily high. Will that rename it? Maybe. On extension left, value. Let's see if it renames it. Yes, it did. Okay, ATR daily high is right there. And the way I look at this is I take this ATR that is down here that is based on the 15-minute and I make a zone in between these. So it's an ATR zone that it needs to hold right here instead of just a arbitrary price level, right? So let me grab my box. And this is our zone here. So from here to this is our zone right now that it needs to trade within and it does not really need to fall out of. Color, they're not gonna let me adjust the opacity. That's all good. But yeah, this is our range between the 15-minute and the daily ATR. But into halts, let's jump over. Oh wow, hollow straight down into the nether regions. I'm not seeing anything under $5 that I want to look at, so I'm just gonna stay focused on GXAI for now, and MINM diving as well, just not looking good, man. And the other thing is, for me to trade something, I need it to be abnormal. Look at these relative standard deviations. It is at 0. Nobody's interested in these, and they're not abnormal. So usually I like a relative volume of 2. I like a relative standard deviation. Relative volume of 5 and a relative standard deviation of 2. So they're not abnormal enough. I'll go ahead and move those off. Something else pops up, I'll let y'all know on the scans. But for now, GXAI is the main thing. Let's go ahead and see when this thing is supposed to be opening back up, though. So GXAI halted at the 36.55 and should be opening up at the 41.55. And I'm not seeing anything else. So we'll just look through the scan. Not saying I'm picking anything out of this, but just looking at what has fallen, what has transpired on the scans today. Tesla still going down. Man, I'm glad I sold those that position, man. Tesla would have drained my pockets, man. Tripping. Okay, so not a whole lot of interesting stuff under this. The other thing, with it being an IPO, the relative volume and relative standard deviation cannot be calculated properly. So it's missing variables. So that's another thing. You don't even know if 12 million is a lot of volume on this stock, especially with it being such a low float. So that's some missing variables that I usually don't like to miss, is the relative volume, relative standard deviation. So we'll see though. It's the 840 right now, and we said that this thing's supposed to be opening up at the 4155. So we're coming into that level or into that time frame here soon. Dude, I didn't even put. Oh well, I'll do it after this. I haven't taken any trades anyway. We're just watching the stock, but I do have a disclaimer because a lot of times people, you know, they're watching. I don't want you to be doing stupid stuff, taking stupid trades without a smart strategy or a smart way to look at the market. So, at this point, there's no real pattern on the 15 minute, maybe some kind of pattern on the lower time frames, but we'll see how it handles the 1246, which is the ATR high, and if it actually wants to hold out of it. We have about 50 seconds. Let's jump over here and look at what's going on this monthly chart. So we held this bottom level here. This is the ATR daily high there that I put on the 15 minute, and it's got a whole lot of room up here towards the 19. We'll see if it gets active. So about 20 seconds left. 1246, man. Well, actually, the actual number is 1252, but my mark went to 12, the wrong spot. It should have opened there, so there's going to be a 10-minute halt. Oh, it opened up. So it opened up, popping around, popping above that level, got to the 1252. And this is the top of the value level. Let's see if we see volume come in up here. Ooh, okay. So this is our zone. This is the low ATR. This is a 15-minute ATR down here in a daily. Finding a little bit of, that struggle juice in there. Let's see how it does. Can it hold inside of this level up here above the 1140s? Okay, playing towards the top again. Can it get back over 1250s? Up 127%. So we know people are looking at this thing. Actually, we don't, because we don't know the relative volume. So sometimes things are up 100% and they're not even abnormal. It's a regular move, like just a average, Wednesday. So you can't always depend on, oh, it's up 100%. People may not even be there. Okay, inching its way back towards that 1250 level. I want to change this to the actual daily. It's 1256 now. So the ATR is recalculating based on the last 14 bars. And that is 1256. There. Hit OK. Okay, so 1256 ATR daily high. So it's got the ATR break part of the break and hold setup. Now you could just have played the ATR break. A lot of people play that ATR break because it aligns. Sometimes it aligns with the pre-market high breakout as well. So that's, that's a dual-edged sword though. Jumping up there, getting above this level now. Can we get some more volume up here? Needs to stay away from the 1150. Dropping on back down. And now it is under the daily ATR, which is now at 1259. These recalculations, man, they always get me. So there is the ATR test, one of them. It needs to close it. And this is one of the things that I don't like doing. I don't like seeing this at the beginning of a candle and just entering here. This candle has 15 minutes to lie to you. You don't know if this candle is going to actually close above this. And it's got way too much time to do what it's got to do. That's why I don't enter just because it went down there and tapped. I like to wait for the candle to close and show me the truth. If it closes up here, above the ATR, like up here 1220s or whatnot, cool. That's really bullish. But I like to see that candle close first. Close. I probably need to stretch this out too. Can I edit this? Edit properties, activate drawing. Okay, let me squeegee this up just a little bit. There we go. And we have a bottom of this right there. There we go. Okay, so there's our zone from the 15 up to the ATR high on the daily. But remember, I am looking at a 15 minute. So if you're looking at a lower time frame, you may see a different picture than me. It looks like an ATR hold, but like I said, this thing has a lot of time on it. Trapping a lot of people on this little hold. And this is where people get stopped out a lot too when they're in here and they're like, okay, this thing held, let's see it go, but it's not done lying. It can easily go back red. Little bit of, I see some volume coming in here on the side. This volume profile shows you the main areas that are getting trades. So you'll see different volume come in, and you want to see the reaction to those levels as that volume's coming in. See, it keeps bumping up. You can see that blue grow. What kind of action comes from that though? Is it a short entering, or is it a long coming in? And it's right now it's not taking off like a long is coming in there, but we'll see. Some more struggle movement. Up, there's some more volume coming in there. It's gonna go ahead and push up. The top of this previous candle was, oops. High of this previous candle was 1340. It's right at the volume high area. Okay. Looks like it got a little full tap there and more volume coming in there. Still hasn't closed this candle yet, but it looks bullish. So at this point, I wouldn't even play this as a break, ATR break and hold. I would need to see a whole nother pattern form, see some dissension here to hold a higher low. It's too far off of the ATRs right now. Pushing on out just a little bit, staying out of this zone that we had marked. So we'll see how it holds this zone here at the 1259, pushing away. And at this point, there is no pattern. This is purely technical trading. The control area is all the way down here at the 977. Maybe if it closes this candle up here or something, the control level will pop up. But it is definitely a distance away from the action that's going on here. Usually when there's actual buyers coming in, you see this control level just popping up. That volume's just dragging it up the price ranges. Still haven't seen anything else pop onto the scans except this one. That's over $5 and moving with range. All right, so this candle has about 8 minutes to the close. Let's see if it can continue to hold up that 1259. There's definitely volume coming in, but every time we see the volume come in, it kind of juts down a little bit. More volume coming in on a new level. This is a new start of some volume here. $3.95, almost $14. If you look out here on the daily chart, just floating above this ATR high, and we can see it over here as well. This is ATR high on the daily chart, weekly chart. Got a lot of room in here with no real resistance. So it's going to either have to make some new resistance or it's going to go all the way and grind to 19. We'll see. The shorts are scared to get on this because even though it has weak catalysts, the resistance is at 19. If you buy down here, you can get your whole account blown. That's a $4 move on if you take some big size, that could be very bad. And then the longs are scared because they're like, oh, I hope this thing, everybody just doesn't sell, right? Because we haven't even seen a red candle on the day, not a 15-minute red candle. So we don't know how the shorts are really going to be feeling and how much money they're going to throw behind a red movement or a sell off. Got about 7 minutes left here. A lot of struggle at this top. If now all this volume that came in, if this is shorts, it's they definitely had a lot of time to get in. But if it continues higher, it's gonna definitely push them into some pain areas. Right now on the buy sell indicator, we're still seeing a 93% buyers in control. So they keep, yeah. Well, just gotta pop through there. Up to the 14. So shorts they were getting in right there. They were like, man, this thing isn't gonna go. You know, yeah. And on days like this, these are the days that people that use patterns get hurt, right? They're like, oh, I'm looking for a pattern. I'm looking for this. This looks like and it continues to break patterns. It continues to do things that are abnormal and don't even make sense. So now it's up to 15. And now we're feeling the pain of shorts, right? We're feeling it. Again, we are pushing our way up towards this 19. We have made it above the ATR. So the ATR high, as long as it's above the ATR, I'm thinking it's bullish no matter what. It's going to have to break down that 1259 to not be bullish anymore. It may take a break or a breather, but yeah, it's just straight bullish. Crazy thing is this candle hadn't even closed yet. That's insane. It moved from 11 up to 15 in 15 minutes. I know the shorts are like, man, where am I going to cut this position? Well, you better hope it doesn't get to 19, is all I'm saying. So at this point, if I was coming in on a day and I was looking to trade something, I'll come in and see this right here, how much it's already out and already moved, and I'd be like, well, I can't do anything with that, and I would probably just walk away with my strategy because I already know the limitations of my strategy. It's gonna get me killed up here if I was to take an entry or whatnot like that. I'll be literally just, yes, I can analyze the charts. Yes, I can put the levels out there, but how is it going to affect me like mentally and all of that when I'm in the trade with all of this chopping around, moving like dollars, you know? Right now, the ATR on this thing is $2.17, a very wide ATR, especially to be made in 15 minutes. Usually, it takes a little bit for the ATR to open up, but the rate of change on this, the distance that it's moved, is pretty impressive. All the way up to 16 now. The value level is all the way down here at the 1398, and it continues to push higher, and a new gap is being formed here. If it gets more volume up here, we'll see this whole value area move up on the close of this candle. 70% of the volume is what the volume profile contains. So this is where all the trading happened, and now new trading is coming in up here. Almost 200% gainer, man. 3 minutes until it actually closes this candle. How will this candle close? Is it all a lie? We'll see. Will it close below the 14? Or does it want to continue going higher? Really, this is kind of like what they say a parabolic move looks like. I mean, unpredictable, going straight up, just destroying shorts. Got 22 million shares traded on this one right now, and it is coming back down to the value area. Probably needs to test here. I don't know if it'll actually drop through here because it's so many buyers in there, but we'll see if people put their stop orders right here on the 14. Be like, hey, if it holds a 14, doesn't look too good. We'll see. But at this point, gotta wait for candles to close. And I know a lot of times you're like, oh, well, you missed profits because you're waiting for the candle to close. Maybe I missed profits, but maybe it kept me from taking a bad position too, right? Because there is no pattern here. All right, 1 minute to the close, or 30 seconds until the new 15-minute opens. We're gonna see the true sentiment of this stock with the first pullback of the day, possibly. All right, pulled back almost to that 14 there, coming into the close. So with this, what pattern is this? There is none. Can you call any candles that make sense? Nope. Can you do an ATR high break and hold? Nope, because it makes it, if it goes all the way back down here to the ATR, that is not going to be looking bullish anymore. That is a long fall all the way back down to the 1158s, or actually the 1259, but definitely 1158s. And this is getting more. I need to activate this. Where's my activate drawing? And this is getting thinner and thinner as well. So now this little zone that it needs to pass through is getting thinner and thinner based on the ATR. All right, so we're just waiting. So this is the top of the value level. Usually when things get up here, they will have some type of pullback. Sometimes they hold up here, but with this extension, I don't know if it'll be able to hold. We'll see. 14s. Getting a good test there. What up, Mad Capital? Man, you didn't see my message, man? I had messaged you like a week ago or something like that. I was trying to get with you on your project. But yeah, guess we'll hit it up. We'll hit it up sometime this week or something. Donnell said may trade sympathy to CXAI. I don't even see CXAI. Where is that? CXAI. Oh yeah. Yeah. So it's 31%. Yeah, it's not gonna be on the scanner. It ain't gonna be on there. Plus, what is this volume? CXAI volume. 5 million shares? Nah, it's gotta work. It's gotta put that work in. But it does look like a sympathy play. They do kind of look have the same setup. Did end up breaking on down the 13 or the 14. Is it halted down? Bro, I just looked away for a second, man. You got what? Okay, well, we're halted down now. This is the zone that we do not want to see it break down. It may get a bounce off of 1259, may get a bounce off of 11, whatnot, but we don't want to see it break that down. It's gonna get ugly, real ugly. Looking over on the larger time frame, though, we can see that it does have a top and tail, did form a higher low. So at this point, you're saying what? This is where the catalyst comes into play. What percent chance does it have of getting back up to this level? It reached the mid level between the all-time high and the ATR daily high. So it got to the mid level and now is kind of giving up the ghost. So what is the probability of it going back up to 16 today? That's what you have to think. Is that probable? And if it's not probable, how can you effectively trade this within smaller ranges to make money, right? So if it does fall, do you play the backside of the move, or are we even in the backside of the move yet? This thing halted at, oh, where's all my halts? Oh, I'm on it. This thing halted at 10:02:04, so it'll be unhalting at 10:07, whatever. But I'm probably not gonna stick around and watch this because this isn't a setup that I really can do anything with. But for you all that took trades on this, and you played the odds, or I don't even know if there were odds on this one. It was just like you just got paid. It was going up, right? Shorts got caught on ATR break. If you were just playing the ATR break, yes, it would have worked out very well. But a lot of times this is an anomaly. A lot of times you want to see that confirmation where it comes back and tests and then moves higher. So we'll see what happens. I'll be in the Discord as well. But yeah, appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm about to go and make some money doing something else. I do have a green trade this week, green week, green month, whatever. And just continuing to work on accumulation. I'm not really looking to, you know, just, oh boy, make a huge play, but I want something that is repeatable, where the trades look the same every single time. And I want something that is scalable. So if I want to throw 1,000 shares on the same trade, I can do that with confidence and know, hey, this thing has a very high percentage win rate for me, right? And that's what I was showing in my trading journal today. This is TraderSync. The link for TraderSync is in the description. Of course, you get a discount with my link. But yeah, I've been using this and pretty much just accumulating wins, just accumulating slowly. But the wins add up, right? And the average return for my wins is 6.30%, so about 6%. Total shares, I don't burn a lot of shares in the market. I only traded 3,000 shares in the last 30 days, or right at 4,000. Let's just call it 4,000. Profit loss ratio 9.7 to 1. So, you know, a lot of people, they say, hey, I want a 2 to 1. I want a 1 to 1, 3 to 1, but mine is pretty good for the last 30 days. And we're trying to just accumulate, because you can look at the losses, a little $21, 11, 72, 70 in comparison to my wins. And that's how I want my stats to be looking. You know, if I'm going to take a loss, let it be controlled, let it be within an expected range. And then if I'm going to win, I want to look and sell half at a higher level of price target and let the rest run. So that's kind of how I'm playing it. But yeah, that is it for me today. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. And I'm on a whole different screen. I wasn't even showing y'all this screen. But yeah, total trades this month 10, average return 6.3 or whatnot. Shares traded of about 4,000, and then profit loss ratio 9.7 to 1. But yeah, that is it. I'm about to get on down. If you're going to continue trading, definitely be careful, especially with this thing going into Hawks down. Definitely be careful, especially with the catalyst that it had. It's not the strongest catalyst, so it's purely technical. But yeah, that is it for me today. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.